I still can't believe this actually happened to us. 1 minute we're heading toward the priority lane at Atlanta airport, kids buzzing about Disney, boarding passes ready, and the next minute some woman in a leopard print blazer is shouting that we're scammers and have no right to be there. By the time security stepped in, my wife was in tears. My 6-year-old was glued to my leg, trembling, and this stranger had somehow convinced the gate agent that we were imposters. What she didn't realize was that the TSA supervisor watching her whole meltdown recognized her from a federal watch list and decided she'd picked the wrong family to bully. Let me rewind to that morning. We'd saved for 2 years for this trip. I mean, extra shifts, stacked birthday skip, the whole sacrifice package. My wife, Maria, even surprised the kids with Mickey ears the night before. They literally slept in them. We get to Hartsfield-Jackson Park, out in the economy lot, Hall 3. Suitcases and 2 car seats through the terminal like every other exhausted family. Since Maria traveled for work, she finally hit Delta Gold last month. That meant priority security for all of us. First time ever. The kids thought it was next level cool, like Hollywood star treatment. We're maybe 15 feet from the priority lane entrance when this woman steps right in front of us, blocking the rope. Mid-50s, highlighted bob, oversized, indoor sunglasses, and a head-to-toe Lululemon outfit that could probably pay our mortgage. She's gripping her boarding pass like it's some sacred scroll. She scans us from shoes to suitcases, zeroing in on the kids' light up sneakers and our one battered suitcase with the wobbling wheel, and loudly declares, "Excuse me, this lane is for actual diamond and platinum members. Families from economy go that way." She points to the massive regular line snaking down the hall. I laugh at first because I assume she's joking. She's dead serious. Maria kindly shows her phone, gold status, priority access, all for names. The woman snatches the phone, squints at it like it's forged passport, shoves it back, and says, "That's obviously photoshopped. My husband's a Delta 360 member, and we know how you people cheat." You people? I'm seeing red, but I'm trying to stay composed for the kids. Before I can answer, she whirls toward the TSA agent checking IDs and waves her arms like she's directing aircraft. Officer, these people are cutting with fake priority credentials. I demand you remove them right now. The agent looks baffled. He glances at our boarding passes, sees a priority indicator, and tries to wave us forward. That's when she absolutely snaps. She steps over the rope, plants herself right in front of my daughter, and shouts, "I've been flying Delta for 23 years, and I'm not letting some welfare families steal my perks." Phones come out. People are recording. My son starts crying. Maria's face is scarlet. I tell the kids to breathe, but inside I'm seconds from saying something that ends with handcuffs. Then the TSA agent calls for a supervisor. I think, great, it'll be sorted instantly. Wrong. This Karen, Cynthia B., as we later learn, pulls out her phone and starts live streaming to what she claims is her HOA Facebook group. She narrates like she's exposing a criminal ring. "Everyone, look, this is what happens when they let just anyone in priority. I'm protecting all of us who earned our status." The supervisor arrives, tall, clipboard, zero tolerance. He asks for everyone's documents. We hand ours over without hesitation. Cynthia thrusts hers forward like it's a royal decree. That's when the script flips. The supervisor reads her boarding pass, studies her face, then quietly takes out his phone and starts scrolling. His eyebrows shoot up. He murmurs something to another officer. Suddenly 3 more. TSA agents show up, but they're not focused on us at all. They're fixated on her. Cynthia keeps ranting, totally clueless, telling her live stream she's defending the skies. The supervisor clears his throat and delivers a sentence that makes my brain freeze. Ma'am, you're the one who isn't authorized for this. Lane, your global entry was revoked 6 months ago for repeated violations, and you're currently flagged in our system for prior incidents at several airports. The entire priority line goes silent. Cynthia's face turns the shade of her leopard blazer. She starts stammering. There must be a mistake. My husband is But the supervisor cuts her off, turns to me and Maria and says, Sir, ma'am, on behalf of TSA, I'm genuinely sorry your family was treated this way. We take harassment seriously, especially when it comes from a documented repeat offender. He pulls 4 fresh global entry cards from his pocket, already printed, with our names on them, and says, These are complimentary lifetime memberships. You'll never wait in line again anywhere in the world. Welcome to the program. I swear half the phones filming nearly slipped from people's hands. Cynthia tried to protest, but 2 officers were already escorting her out of the priority area, her live stream still going as hundreds of HOA members watched their self-appointed queen get dethroned. My daughter looked up at me with tear, tracks drying on her cheeks, and whispered, Daddy, does this mean we're VIPs now? All I could do was laugh and hug her, because somehow the worst 5-minute disaster of our lives had turned into the wildest airport story we'd ever have. But trust me, the real shock came after we got through security, when we learned exactly why Cynthia's global entry had been revoked. To begin with, we're still standing. They're stunned, holding for shiny global entry cards that literally materialized out of nowhere like the supervisor was a magician instead of federal officer. My son keeps turning his card in his hands, asking if it's real gold, like Iron Man's armor. People in the priority lanes start clapping. Someone shouts, Justice, and Cynthia's being dragged away, screeching about lawsuits. I know, the regional manager. I assume that's the finale. Nope, not even close. We finally make it through the body scanner, put our shoes back on, kids gripping their new cards like Willie Wonka golden tickets, and head toward our gate in Concourse B. Maria's still shaking, half from fury, half from the aftershock of adrenaline. I tell her, let's just get coffee and pretend the last 20 minutes didn't happen. That's when my phone detonates with notifications. Turns out Cynthia's HOA live stream didn't stop when TSA seized her phone. Someone's screen recorded the whole thing, and it's already exploding across Twitter, TikTok, and every travel Facebook group in existence. The caption reads, Atlanta HOA Karen tries to remove family from priority line, gets obliterated by TSA supervisor. It has 1.5 million views in 40 minutes. But this is where things go from wild to unhinged. While we're sipping our overpriced Starbucks, I get a DM from an account called Delta Insider Reel. Verified, 200,000 followers. The message says, Hey man, saw what happened. That lady is notorious. Check the thread I posted. I open it and nearly drop my phone. It's a full-length expose. Apparently, Cynthia, B from Buckhead's most uptight HOA, has been wreaking havoc at airports around the country for 2 straight years. She and her husband lost their global entry after she repeatedly attempted to citizens arrest travelers she thought didn't look elite enough for clear or pre-check. There's footage of her in Dallas shrieking at a service dog Footage in Charlotte trying to confiscate a soldier's military ID because she insisted it was obviously fake. Worst of all, she once had an elderly couple kicked off a Miami flight because she claimed their emotional support chihuahua was clearly a pit bull disguised as a toy breed. TSA finally revoked both her and her husband's global entry permanently and slapped them on a special watch list that flags their name every single time they fly. But Cynthia never told her HOA loyalists the truth. She blamed identity theft and crowned herself a martyr. Every month she'd post dramatic updates about battling the deep state, and her followers would send her donations for legal fees that didn't exist. Now the entire internet is connecting the dots in real time. Someone digs into her HOA Facebook group, private 800 members and leaks screenshots of Cynthia bragging that morning, on my way to Disney with the Grands will be monitoring priority lines for fraud as usual. These peasants think they can buy status now. Not on my watch. Another member comments with prayer emojis. 10 minutes later, that same group is melting down as people realize their queen just publicly self-destructed. We're watching all this happen, laughing in disbelief when a Delta Gate agent suddenly walks over, holding 4 envelopes. Mr. and Mrs. Rodriguez. We glance at each other, half bracing for another Karen-style meltdown. Instead, she beams, practically glowing, and says, "Congratulations! You've all been upgraded to Delta One for your Orlando flight. Round trip. Lie-flat seats, champagne, full amenities." Apparently, the station manager who saw the viral video pulled some strings. She leans closer and lowers her voice. "Also, he wanted me to tell you, the woman from earlier completely denied boarding. She's in a holding room right now, throwing an absolute fit. The moment my daughter hears lie-flat beds, she erupts, jumping around like she's on a trampoline, shrieking, 'We're going to Disney in beds!' Passengers cheer. Someone hands us cinnamon rolls. A pilot walking by gives a salute. It's unreal. We board first, settling into these massive pods that probably cost more than our mortgage. A flight attendant appears with a bottle of Dom Perignon and a note, handwritten on Delta letterhead. It reads, "To the Rodriguez family, thank you for keeping it classy when others didn't. Safe travels and enjoy the magic. Captain Mike." Beneath that, in a different hand, P.S. Cynthia B is on a no-fly list for the next 72 hours pending investigation. Karma flies Delta One. We clink plastic cups at 30,000 feet, while the kids binge on Encanto on 22-inch screens. Shoes off, feet up, absolute royalty vibes. But the real mic drop moment comes after takeoff. Captain Mike's voice booms over the PA. Normally, it's the usual ahead of schedule stuff. Not today. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. Quick shout out to the Rodriguez family in Delta One. You handled yourselves with pure class this morning when a certain passenger made a scene at security. Thanks to your composure, TSA and Delta made things right in a major way. Welcome to the sky. VIPs, enjoy the ride." The cabin erupts. Business travelers stand and clap. Flight attendants bow theatrically. Someone in 4 CEOs play the video. Suddenly, the viral clip plays on every seatback screen. At 500 miles per hour, we're officially famous. 30 minutes later, lead flight attendant Tasha slides into the empty pod beside us, iPad in hand, grinning ear to ear. "You won't believe this," she whispers. "The FBI just called the cockpit. They want to speak to you before landing." My stomach drops. Maria grabs my hand, nails digging in. "FBI?" Tasha laughs. "Relax. It's good news. Life-changing good news." The call is patched to our seat. A comm agent introduces himself as Special Agent Ramirez from Atlanta. "Mr. Rodriguez, your family is in no trouble. In fact, you just helped close a 2-year federal investigation." Cynthia B wasn't just a regular airport Karen. She was a treasurer of Georgia's most toxic HOA, million-dollar homes, private lakes, armed security gates. She'd been skimming dues, faking invoices, laundering money through fake landscaping companies, and pocketing security upgrade funds that never existed. The FBI had been watching for 18 months, but needed proof. Her live stream about protecting what we earned accidentally reflected her phone screen in her sunglasses, an open account showing $1.87 million labeled HOA Emergency Fund. Do not touch. Homeowners had complained for months that the fund was empty. That brief reflection? Probable cause. By the time our plane took off, FBI and IRS agents were at her McMansion with warrants, cameras, and a moving truck. Her husband answered the door in a robe and got cuffed on the lawn while neighbors recorded from Ring cameras. Ramirez laughed. "Mr. Rodriguez, your family stayed calm and let her dig her own grave on camera. You handed us the final piece." Then came the kicker. Under federal whistleblower statutes, even accidental whistleblowers qualify for reward money when it leads to recovery of stolen funds. Expected seizure, roughly $2 million. Standard reward, 15 to 30%. Paperwork's already moving. Maria screams into a pillow so she won't wake the kids. I sit there calculating. 15% of $2 million, $300,000. 30%, $600,000. Tax-free. Landing in Orlando, a Disney VIP host meets us with sign, "Rodriguez family, honored guests." Delta arranged everything. Private van, no lines, upgraded park hopper passes, carried a breakfast for a week. The next morning at Magic Kingdom, a reserved parade spot includes a plaque reading, in honor of the Rodriguez family, who reminded us that kindness always wins. Cynthia's on bail, ankle monitor in place, banned from airports. Her HOA installed a new president who refunded every stolen cent. The reward check cleared last month. We paid off the house, started college funds, and still had enough for another Delta One Disney trip next summer. Sometimes karma shows up in small ways. Sometimes it lands with a golden ticket, a lie-flat seat, and a federal reward. All because one Karen couldn't tolerate seeing a happy family in line. Moral? Stay kind. Keep your camera ready, and never, ever mess with a dad trying to take his kids to Disney. Hit subscribe for more HOA justice stories, tap the bell, and get ready for the next tale, where karma hits even harder.